Hey, welcome to another adventure in old code. Today we're going to look at TypeTut. 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 This is infamous. Yeah, okay. Every time I go into this, my caps lock always gets screwed up. Anyway, this program is infamous. TypeTut. All right, this is a program I made and we're gonna run through it. You'll see why it's called TypeTut. Beginner, good or beginner, bestest beginner, or not a beginner. All right, we're gonna have to say beginner. How many letters? A maximum of 20. Let's do 5. Okay. You ever, as a kid, or maybe you still do, these typing tutor programs, the Mavis Beacon teaches typing or something. They used to have these games where it's kind of like asteroids, not asteroids. What was that arcade game where the things were coming down? And you had your cityscape on the bottom, and you had to shoot the lasers in case they didn't. You had to protect the cities on the bottom. It escapes me what that was called. Missile Command? Missile Command? Sure. Anyway, there were typing tutor programs that were like that. You know, the word is falling, and you had to quickly type the word, and before it hit your city below. So I wanted to do that. There's a speed that it's just too fast, and I think I asked for speeds and use them in an empty for loop. Anyway, let's try and modify this so it looks like the higher the number, the slower we go. So, whoops. Okay, let's try again. I am a beginner with 5 characters. So here we go, and I have to, you say, oh, see, I can type that. And you might be saying to yourself, those aren't real words. You're right, they're not real words. How in the world was I going to get a bank of dictionary words in order to select from? And so I didn't. These are just random strings. Oh yeah, I'm so good. There's been none. I haven't let one go. So I get these random characters between 1 and 5. Hey! How come it didn't take? That was totally... And then there's a number that says 19,720 on the bottom. And I get 1 shot. I only get 1 life. There's no mercy in this game. So if I was a bestest beginner, I guess that's level 3, and I did a maximum of 10. You can't type that fast. Let's do beginner and do 15. CMJONM. Whew. Yes. Oops. Oh man. And I don't know if you can backspace. Maybe you can backspace. Let's try. So I'm going to type BB. Whoops. Backspace K. Yes. Okay. So interesting. I'm able. Oh, I'm pretty sure I typed that. Okay. Let's have a look. Apparently you can backspace. Okay. Let us do this. So we have dim word and word2 as string. Random number generator, clearing the screen. What level of genius are you? Beginner, good or beginner, bestest beginner, or not a beginner. And we're going to throw that into level string. Uppercase it, and we loop until we enter a valid thing. B, G, E, or N. And then we ask for how many letters. Okay, and we've thrown this on the same line. So we ask for the number of letters, and we loop until what you've inputted is less than 21 or greater than 0. Okay. This is an or. Only one of them is true. If one of them is true, then the whole thing is true, and we loop. So what I wanted was it's less than 21 and it's greater than 0, but I have or here. So I could say 100. Let's not be stupid. Let's do 30. Now, the intention was that this was not allowed. But indeed, this is greater than 0. Hey. Oh, did I miss something? Okay, I must have read that wrong. Loop until letters is less than 21, or look at that, that's awesome. Okay, you see that letter here is spelled differently than this. So this is letters and this is letter. This is obviously a typo. Letter has never been seen before, and it's a new variable, so it's always 0 all the time because we haven't done anything with it. So letter being greater than 0 will always be false. So the only thing that will make this true or not is if letters is less than 21. Okay, so I made one mistake with the or, but then I made a second mistake here that seems to get us to the place we want, in that I check for an upper bound and don't let you go above 20. But this totally destroys the lower bound. So I should be able to type -17 in here. And I can progress, but I get an illegal function call because letters is -17, and we can't, oh, that's a new command, but so we actually can progress past that loop. So this is why it's kind of frustrating. Was there such a thing as option explicit? There isn't. This is option. Okay, so this is the danger in allowing a programmer to just, well, there's two philosophies in computer science, and different languages take different approaches. So one philosophy is, if you just use a variable, we'll just, the computer will just create that variable if it's never seen it before and default it to some default. So if it's a number, it'll get defaulted to 0. If it's a string, it'll get defaulted to empty. The other philosophy is that you don't allow any variable to be used that the programmer didn't specifically say, hey computer, this is a variable. So in the same way where we've declared it up here, dim word as string, we've said, hey QBasic, this word is a string variable for the duration of my program. And I mean, we don't have to. We could not say this, and things would be fine, except for QBasic I'd have to add a dollar sign after it because by default it's a single. But somebody might ask the question, why would a programming language require you to declare a variable before you use it? This is exactly why. Because I did a spelling mistake and introduced this bug. If this was a different programming language that required specific, it's called a declarative I don't know. Is that? Dad, don't quote me on that. But if this required you to declare your variables beforehand, this would not be allowed. And it would say, hey, I've never seen this before. Anyway, so this is what I intended. But with that fix, now I can type 35 and everything is awesome. And this is a serious bug, and so I don't know why that's not erasing. And so then with that correction, this should have been and then we can go and we can say 35, nope, that's not allowed. Negative 17, nope, that's not allowed. 0, no, that's not allowed. Dude, pick a number between 1 and 20. That's awesome. Let's reopen this program so we get rid of all my edits. Correct the speeds. Okay, so that's funny. That's a good lesson on why. So the reason I looked for option explicit, because BASIC is a language that has existed since time began, and it continues to exist. Microsoft seems intent on keeping it around. Currently, its form is called VB.NET. It's actually a .NET language. I don't know why it's still around or an option to use, but you can actually program in BASIC for actual real systems today. But they've introduced something called option explicit, where you can type option explicit at the beginning of your program to say, I want to be forced to declare my variables before I use them, to get rid of problems like that. Languages that actually let you just use anything without declaring it include JavaScript. I'm convinced that's what makes JavaScript very, very finicky sometimes. Okay, anyhow. We add some speeds, or set some speeds based on what we've chosen. Then we clear the screen and we locate row 22. We print this dead end, the final bottom. Word is empty, word 2 is empty, okay? X, random number between 1 and 75. This is pretty sure this will be the column, the horizontal position that the word appears at. And Y equals 2. Okay, and that's the row, so it'll start on row 2. Length equals a random number between 1 and the number of letters you specified. And we do this. What in the world are we doing here? So let's equals 1 to length, which is the number of letters in the word that's dropping down. We are going to say, oh, this is building the word. Okay, so if we specified, we want a maximum of 5 letters, and length becomes a random number between 1 and 5. So let's pretend it's 3. Then for letters equals 1, 2, 3. We're going to build this. So we want to generate random characters, which we've seen before. So Z equals, this is nice. Randomly, give me a random number between 1 and 26, and then add 64. This will give you a random number between 65 and 90. Okay, and 65 and 90, just to remind ourselves, 65 is here with capital A, and 90 is here with capital Z. So that's how we generate random letters, which we've seen before. And then we just add it to Word, the character string. So take that number, convert it into its ASCII character equivalent, and add it to Word. So Word is the word on the screen that we have to type. Okay, and then, oh, speed, it gets decreased by 10. Let's add a 0 to that. So we actually speed up every word. Okay. But we didn't see that because we increased the speeds by a factor of 10, but then we kept decreasing it by only 10 at a time. So if speed is less than 300, locate 11, that's the top left corner of the screen, and print Okay, so this is a new command, the string command. Returns a string whose characters all have a given ASCII code or whose characters are all the first character of a string expression. Okay, so this basically creates a string of this length, and all of them are going to be a space. So if the length of the word was, say, 3, this would create a string of 3 blanks. So that's nice. And then we locate 1, 1, and we print word. Huh. How come I didn't see that? We're just going to end the program here. Apparently the word is supposed to... Oh, no. That's right. If speed is less than 300. So this is really, really fast. Let's increase that by 0. So, okay. When is speed less than 3,000? Okay. Speed is 5,000. And again, these are adjusted for TypeTut.Bas to run at similar pace as what it was designed to. So, okay, let's make the best level 2,999. So we fall below that 3,000 threshold. And we'll see why I've added this here. So we're going to choose the best. Let's say 4. Look at the top left of the screen. It was so fast. Let's try again. So what's happening is it's going so fast. Oh, wait a second. No, because we ended the program. Okay. Now watch the left hand of the screen. Okay, the idea here is that when it gets too fast, you can't actually look at the word falling and type it. So after it gets to a specific speed, the word just appears in the top left so that you can just look at the top left and type that. Otherwise, it's humanly impossible. That is the reason for this check. Okay, let's put this back to 5,000. Oh man, the things that we came up with. Okay, so this is your loop, your falling word. So every time, remember y was your row, the y coordinate of your word. We locate y minus 1 and column x. And we print, oh, okay, so we locate where the word used to be, and again, we're generating this string of the exact right amount of spaces. So this essentially erases the word where it was, and then we locate yx this time and print the word. So erase it, move it down and print it. And then we look to see if we've pressed a key. Now, if we've pressed a key and it wasn't CHR string 8, then add that, what you pressed, to word 2. So word 2, word is the thing that's falling down. Word 2 is the word you are creating by typing. And so we add it to word 2. Now, why are we looking for number 8? You might remember an episode we did on backward, where we came across this. 8 is the ASCII code for backspace. If you print it out, it's this block with a dot in it, but it actually is a backspace key. And so that's what we're saying. If whatever key you pressed, if it wasn't backspace, add the key press to the word you're currently typing. If it is backspace, then what we're going to do is this. We are going to find the length of the word, but subtract of word 2. So let's say I've typed in 3 characters. Len of word 2 would be 3, but I'd subtract 1. So give me the length of what I've typed minus 1. And then I'm setting words to be the left string of word 2, comma n, that number that we just calculated. This is the first time we've seen left string. We've seen mid string. This is similar to mid string. Left string just takes the string and returns the leftmost number of characters that you specify. Okay, so this, we typed 3 characters, n is then 2, and then word 2 is the left 2 characters of what you've typed. And we set that back into word 2, so essentially we've backspaced and deleted the last character. So that's cool. Then we wait from 1 to speed, locate 2210, and print our speed. So that's that number on the bottom. And we loop until y is equal to 22. So that's the row, the dead end row. I think that's the row we set dead end at. Yeah, locate 22, comma 1. So keep making the word fall until it hits the dead end, or the word we've been typing is actually equal to the word on the screen. Okay, and then we locate yx, and we again print a string of empty spaces where the word was. So erase it. And we loop until, we just loop until forever, until you get hit, until y is 22. So here we're checking for game over or success, and then we go back up and we pick another word and do the whole rigmarole again, and we keep doing this outer loop until you're dead. Okay, so that is it in its entirety. So yeah, we should be able to play this. Now that I've increased the speed, I'm going to start at a beginner, and every time I get the word right, speed will decrease by 100. So 10 words in and I'll be down to 19,000. Nah. Let's subtract it by 1,000 every time. Okay, I'll start out as a beginner, and we'll do 5 because I actually want to win. Well, there's no winning. This will go on infinitely. But when I get to a certain point, I can just start looking at the top left corner. After 17 words, my speed will be 3,000, and I'll get that hint at the top left. So let us do this thing. So they should be getting faster. And I feel like they are getting faster. Oh, Let's try again. Okay, let's try again. We'll just say 2. 'Cause this is our hack. Okay, Z, 1, 2. This is the third. Oh, that's a word. That's the word my. That's a word too. I. HV. It's getting faster. It's getting faster, but I feel confident. Okay, one more try with a single character. Let's do this. Oh, you can see the speed on the bottom decreasing. Oh, this is super cheap. Oh, and I was at 3 now. I just had to do, I was so close to the threshold. Okay, I'm going to give this one more shot. This is an awesome, awesome typing tutor program. But I mean, this defined my... Oh, you can see it started to appear at the top of the screen. Yeah. This defined what I did. I experimented, and then sometimes I made new stuff. Sometimes I tried to recreate existing stuff and just sort of made it my own. But I mean, yeah, I think this was a pretty good shot at those typing tutor programs. Yeah. So that's it. I think that's it. We learned a few new commands today. And everything looks good. So, and this is a one routine program. There was no subroutines. So I suspect this was quite early on in my career. Okay, thanks for joining me in this adventure in old code. Hope you had fun. Have a nice day, and we'll see you next time.